After a lot of hard work and a lot of support from you guys, Percy Jackson is coming to Disney Plus.
Disney just announced that they are doing an adaptation of Percy Jackson on Disney Plus. Rick just announced it like 25 minutes ago. Literally, this is his Instagram post. Let me tell you, the Lightning Thief musical is literally my pride and joy. Here's what this is. It's kind of like the spin-off series to Percy Jackson. Maybe the most exciting book release of the year. Today, the last Trials of Apollo book is coming out. The Tower of Nero. Okay, this is my update. Favorite book in the series. I'm very pumped. I think the Percy Jackson teaser trailer was just released.
Didn't want to be half, but
He said the thing. He said the thing. He actually had some POV chapters. So personal to me. Okay, this is good. I really couldn't tell how long the book was gonna be, but this is good. This is good. The series is so good and literally raised me. Like, I would not be the person I am today without these books. I've made some of my best friends because of these books. Like, are you kidding?
You are one. That makes you part of something bigger than yourself.
That's Luke.
Which is good. Because say hi to your mommy for me.
That's wild.
I am.
Go nigger. Look away. Look away. What is happening?
Like Poseidon grows old and his wife is his king. You're gonna need all the luck you can get.
That's crazy.
Nothing. You're learning fast. Dude. Annabeth is terrified of spiders.
Oh, we're getting into this now.
I surrender. Charon has taught you well.
Chiron has Chiron anything.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know when Hades will return. Ares is a moron.
Do you ever dream about mom?
Are those the stones?
I didn't think you'd give him to Grover to wear. I am your friend. Percy, none of this was meant to betray you.
I met your dad. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Annabeth.
I heard everything.
Not staying for the full term. Get out! You get out! Pack your bag. You're going home.
It's a tree, seaweed brain. It doesn't express opinions. But I imagine she's through. There, just be a kid. You got it? Where's Is that your searcher's license?
Yeah, officially authorized to begin the quest for Pan. No one's ever bothered to check the seas.
I know some people in management out there. If you ever need some help, I'll find you. Let's make a pact. I know. No matter what happens, we meet back here next year. All of us. Right here. Deal? tell your mom how much you love her today.
Kronos, Lord of the Titans, said that.
I mean, he could have.
She's making
gods, heroes, and monsters. I'm here to tell you they're real. If you ever feel like you don't fit, like the world doesn't make sense, then you might be a part of our world. So don't give up. Because we might need you for the fight ahead.
Stop. Let's get it. I don't know if there's something to say.
Call yourself a lawyer? This is outrageous. My wife is divorcing me, and on top of that, I gotta pay you too? How is that? That is gross.
It was so good. I'm gonna watch the little documentary thing now. Hey, so it's been like literally over a week since the finale. I did really take my time with this. Because I honestly don't have that much to say. Like, it was just good. Like, I think it was just fire. They ended it perfectly. And at the time I'm filming this, just yesterday, they confirmed that season 2 is happening. So I'm so excited. Sea of Monsters reread video probably coming soon. Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna try to, I say this every video, but I'm gonna try to quickly talk about this episode. Because there's nothing I really have to talk about in depth, because I'm just like, they just did it good. Like, they just did it well. And they ate, I fear. So, yeah. But I'm just gonna go through the episode. So it starts, obviously, like, Ares' fight is happening, but in the very beginning, there's a voiceover happening, and it's Luke's voiceover, which is crazy. And he is saying, like, you didn't want to be a half-blood, but you are, and, like, all this stuff. And then it cuts to a flashback of Percy and Luke training in camp before Percy leaves for the quest, which is, like, something we haven't seen before, and is used so well. I think the use of flashbacks in this show is particularly amazing. Like, that's just all I have to say. Like, it really just is really, really good, the way they use flashbacks to, like, because, like, at this point in the show, we've seen the little Luke, I am call, but, like, other than that, we haven't seen Luke since episode 2. So it's like, we need to, like, bring that back in. So to do a little, like, fighting practice flashback montage thing, that's super helpful. And then Luke is basically just saying all this stuff. Obviously, it's a little bit of foreshadowing for what happens in the end of the episode. Really just locking in, and it's really just exciting, and I just love it. So then he's doing all that, and then it cuts back to the Ares fight, and Percy's like, come on, one-on-one, let's go, me and Ares fighting. And the Ares fight is so cool. All of the choreography, I don't know what you call it when it's like sword fighting, whatever, all the fighting is so cool. It looks amazing. I obviously watched their little, like, behind the scenes documentary, which was so cute and, like, honestly very interesting in, like, the terms of, like, the training that they did to do all these fight scenes and, like, the technology they used to do the backgrounds. Like, so cool. But yeah, so, like, they trained for this whole thing, and it was so cool. And I love when, like, the whole, like, wave came at Ares, like that was so cool. And it was literally like I was watching the scene and Percy got knocked down and I was like, the ocean's right there, and I was like literally like, oh my god, like come on, like rooting for him to do it, which is so funny, and like I love that. So yeah, then the whole Ares fight happens. Percy obviously wins. Ares is like, you just made yourself an enemy. And then this is like sort of they do the whole thing. There's like the whole thing about like God's true form or whatever. I don't know if this is like an actual thing in Greek mythology, but it's definitely something that is in the Percy Jackson universe. But I feel like I don't remember this happening in the book, but it very well might have, like the Ares turning into his true form. But like it obviously makes me think of like the Lost Hero, because that happens in the Lost Hero with Hera, and like Jason literally gets like knocked out because he sees her true form, which is so funny. But yeah, I just love that they're like stuff like little details like that. I'm just like, we are so lucky. It's so good. And then like the Helm of Darkness is left behind. And then they go up into the Montauk cabin, and Alecto is there. I don't remember Alecto having this big of a role in the book. Like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't. So I love that they've really, like, incorporated Mrs. Dawes into it so much. It's really cool. And then she's just really being spooky. She's got some good lines about, like, I hope there's a world that your mother can return to, or whatever, like, spooky. And then Percy's like, well, she takes the helm and takes it down to Hades, so, like, that's all set, and so hopefully Sally will be returned, you know, from the underworld. And then Annabeth and Grover are like, bro, you can't go to Olympus, Zeus is gonna kill you, and he's like, I gotta try to stop World War III, and then Annabeth gives him her necklace. It's so cute. So yeah, that happens, and then Percy goes to Olympus. He's, you know, up top on the Empire State Building. He walks in, he's like, I gotta go see Zeus. And then he gets up there, and I believe there's another flashback to Luke. This is where he talks about, like, the worst thing to be is small and scary, because that's how you get squished. He mentions Annabeth having a fear of spiders, which I love the lore, and it makes up for them not having spiders in the Tunnel of Love. Forgiven, all is forgiven. And then he just, like, goes to Olympus. And so, first of all, Olympus looks gorgeous, like, so perfect. It looks so much like Asgard from, like, Thor, and, like, it's so perfect. But he goes up, and Zeus is sitting on his throne, and it's so, like, empty and just, like, silent, and it's so good. And he's just, like, walking. And then it's the whole Zeus scene where Percy's like, here's your bolt, I know it's late, but I had to try to stop this war, and Zeus is like, I'm not doing it. And then Percy's like, also Kronos is back, and Zeus is like, whatever, I need to fight this war still. Ew. Okay. And so I love the whole scene. Zeus is, like, so perfect, because it's like, he is a jerk. But he's, like, still Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still, like, the king of the gods, all this stuff. But he is still a jerk. Yeah. And then Poseidon shows up. And, like, guys, like, I'm kind of a Poseidon fan. Like, I don't know, guys, because I'm thinking about it. When reading the books, I was not a Poseidon fan. And I'm like, I don't really know if we're supposed to be or not. Because he's sort of different than the other gods. Like, he cares about Percy much more than the rest of the gods care about their kids, so it's like, that's okay. And like the way that he treats Sally, it's like good, but it's like not obviously ideal. But like I'm kind of okay with him. And when he was on Olympus, that whole scene with him and Percy was so good. And like when Zeus left, how it was like a shot of Poseidon and then Percy was standing behind him and he was just like looking. It's so good and it's so sweet. Yeah. So love all of that. Then basically Percy goes back to camp. He's the whole hero. Him and Annabeth do a little hug. It's so cute. And then it's all the fireworks and stuff. By the way, the choice to have fireworks happening in the background with the betrayal scene is so good. The lighting choices are amazing. And so basically the whole betrayal scene happens, which like just go watch it yourself. It's not like worth it for me to explain the whole thing. But I love how they did it. Like I love how Luke was truly trying to get Percy to like join him. 'Cause like, yeah, it's so real. Like I just love it and I think Charlie Bushnell is amazing. And I'm Team Luke. So what can I say? And then Annabeth showing up, that's actually so good because in the book, she's not there. She just like Percy, like she finds Percy in the infirmary and like she's there when he wakes up and then she's like, we heard it, like we know what happened. But for her to literally be there is so good. Also, the way that it was all revealed was so ominous because obviously like the whole thing in the show is that they're blaming it on Clarice initially and Luke is like, oh yeah, it's Clarice. And then Percy's like, you never told Chiron that it was Clarice, did you? And then he's slowly putting together that it's Luke. It's crazy. So yeah, that happens. And then Percy leaves camp for the summer. He gets over it real quick. And then it's the whole like on the tree on the hill scene. Percy and Annabeth are talking. Annabeth's going home for the summer. Percy says, just be a kid, and it's so cute. And then Grover shows up. He has his searcher's license, which is a flower, which is so cute. And then they do a little big group hug, and it's so cute. And they're like, we'll meet back here next summer, like, promise. And they have a season 2, so they're gonna be back there next summer. Anyway, and then Percy, like, goes home. He goes to Montauk? I think he goes to the cabin. Yeah. He goes to the cabin, and then he's like, Mom, his mom's there, they're hugging. Turns out it's not his mom. And it's like a little juke out. It's Kronos, little last ominous thing before the season ends. It's super cute. And then we're in Percy's apartment, and he's like all discombobulated, but then his mom is actually there, and she's like, another nightmare? And he said, yeah, it's Grandpa again, which is crazy. And they're just so cute. Like, they've got their whole, like, thing going on. They're besties. And then as, you know, it comes to a close, like, Percy's doing his little voiceover again. It's honestly so cute. Like, he's like, we might need you to join the fight. Like, it's so good. Yeah. And then episode ends, season ends. But there's an end credit scene, which I heard there was gonna be an end credit scene, like, beforehand, but I had no idea what it could possibly be, because I thought it might, well, like, the only thing I could think of as, like, an end credit thing was, like, a season 2 teaser, and so I was like, is it gonna be something about, like, you know, at the beginning of the Sea of Monsters, how Percy's having, like, a dream about Grover, being, like, stolen, and, you know, like, him calling for help because the empathy link and all that stuff. So I didn't know if it was gonna be some sort of, like, a short clip of, like, oh, Percy waking up from a nightmare and being like, oh, Grover's in trouble, and then it ends, and it's, like, season 2. I didn't know what it was gonna be, but it was not that. It was actually the Gabe thing, which is so good because obviously I talked about this in my video on episode 1, because it was like sort of unclear in the beginning what was gonna happen with Gabe, because in the book he's literally horrible, and like he is horrible, like actually physically abusive and like very not like disgusting man. In the show, he's more so just like a pathetic loser, and it's like, yeah, he's a burden to this family, but he's just like so pathetic that it's like he's not really like scary, but it's like we don't know, he might still be abusing her, like I don't know. But in the book, obviously it's like hinted, it's a little joke that he died, like Sally technically kills him with Medusa's head, so he's like turned into this statue, and then they're like, oh, we have this statue, and it's like hinted that they basically just like killed Gabe. And so we didn't really know if that was going to happen in the show or not, because we hadn't really seen him do anything that was worthy of him being killed exactly, but they did end up doing that, and I love it. And so like the scene itself is just like Gabe outside the apartment, and he's on the phone, and he's talking about like his divorce or whatever. So like Sally got a divorce from him, period. And then he sees the package outside, and he opens it, and then it's Medusa's head, and he just like turns to stone right there, and it's so good. And I was like, period. Yeah. So that's season 1. I'm so excited for season 2. I'm so excited to go through the whole process again of like seeing casting announcements and like watching like Rick's oh, someone is running outside. Rick's, what are they called? Newsletters? Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm trying to think of like what new characters are in season 2. There's like Tyson, obviously. Is it Tantalus or Quintus in the second book? I think it's Tantalus. Or is Tantalus in the Battle of the Labyrinth? I think it's Tantalus. I don't know. That dude who like takes over for Chiron. I'm so excited because Clarice has a bigger role in season 2. Luke has a bigger role in season 2 also, I'd say. And yeah. It's all just so exciting. And I'm so excited for the siren scene. Oh my god. And I'm interested to see how long it's gonna take them, because they've already been prepping season 2 even before it got greenlit. And season 1, they were writing like during the pandemic, and also like during like the writer's strike put a hold on it for a long time as well. So there was a lot of like delays sort of in the process, and it was just like slow like getting it started, doing all the exposition and stuff. So I wonder if season 2 will be like how much faster it'll take. Hopefully it's faster. I'm so excited though. So that's all I have to say. I love this episode, and I loved this whole season. It was so amazing. That's all.